Hi everybody, I'm Boone and you're watching Brick Replay.
In this video we'll take a look at set 6649, Street Sweeper from 1995.
Let's go check it out.
So here it is, set 6649, Street Sweeper from 1995. I love this set for a few reasons. Number one, this particular one was missing a tire, missing a single tire when I got it. And you know, one of the missions of Brick Replay is to restore things to their original function and purpose. So I love, I was able to find a tire of the appropriate vintage in my personal Lego collection and popped it on there. So this guy is back to his original part count and operates like a charm. Another thing I love about this thing is I remember seeing this in a catalog, 1995, when I was, you know, I would have been 10 or turning 11 when this thing came out. There was one earlier edition of Street Sweeper much like this in 1991, and another later edition in 2005. But this thing's 20 years old now, so I just love this old stuff. This Street Sweeper came with 63 pieces, and I really love the detail, the amount of life that this thing has for such a small part count. I mean, we got our minifig, we got our sunroof, we got our street sweeper mechanism, we got a shovel, we got a broom, we got side sweepers, we got back sprayers. We'll look at all those things a little bit more closely. But for only having 63 pieces, this thing has so much play value. I remember looking at this thing in a catalog and wanting it because of these things right here. Man, those looked so cool to me in a catalog. And I remember wanting this thing, you know, when I was 10, I was really focused on Lego space, and I wouldn't have, you know, spent my allowance on this at the time, but I remember seeing it in catalogs and loving it. So let's talk about some of the pieces in this build. I love this transparent blue angled windscreen. You know, this was a window that before this set came out, I had seen in, sets like the Raceway with the skybox of the Raceway, or perhaps an airport set where the air traffic control might have windows, something like this. I thought this was a really great application for this window piece in a little vehicle. Of course, our street sweeping parts here that are put together with a Technic axle. I really like this piece. I kind of feel like this street sweep function is the only real useful application for this piece. So that makes it seem to me like a piece that's not very versatile, but that's okay. There's plenty of pieces in the Lego universe that are that way. I really like how they've lined up these nozzles back here to imply that, man, these would be spraying down and washing the street off with a high pressure. And also this little disc here intended to simulate a smaller version of the brushes running along the curb as this thing drives down the street and sweeping up, cleaning up some more things. On this side we have a broom mounted minifigure accessory. On this side we have a shovel minifig accessory mounted, so our street sweeper can shovel up some debris if he needs to. We also have a forward-facing light for when this guy needs to sweep in the low traffic hours of the evening and midnight, and a little emergency caution beacon there to warn other drivers of the presence of this slow-moving vehicle. I also feel like I have to comment on this roof piece with the built-in sunroof. Man, this piece really characterized the roofs of vehicles for my childhood. I mean, in the 80s, in the 90s, any little minifig size car, truck, street sweeper, man, it seemed like almost everybody had a sunroof, and that really reminds me of playing with Legos as a kid. And here's a look at the minifigure for this set. He has a red ball cap on with a nice flat bill, and he's got a nice pair of shades. You can see he's got the classic smile. In my mind, this is a face that's still fairly early in the world of diversified faces on minifigures. You know, I'd say we started seeing a wave of variation in minifig faces in the late 80s, early 90s. This is 1995. Still a pretty simple looking face variation with these sunglasses on. It looks good, but you know, in my mind, this is still before the explosion of variety that happened in the late 90s, early 2000s, and now you know that there are just thousands of different minifig faces. I do like this guy's jacket. I feel like it's a pretty stylish blue zip-up jacket for a city worker to wear. I like that. And of course, as typical for a minifigure in 1995, we've got no printing on the back of the torso or the back of the head. This set did come with the original instruction manual. This one's showing a lot of wear. I'm okay with that. That didn't prevent me from having a lot of fun when I built this thing. The back of this manual does have a couple alternate builds. Here is the side view of the regular build. This does show that side street sweeping attachment can be attached to either side. Here it is on the opposite side from where I attached it. This looks to me like some sort of utility vehicle that might be used on the tarmac at the airport. That's just kind of what this reminds me of. With sort of this open and short front end where he's driving around, and maybe he's gonna, I don't know, maybe this is a very small fuel truck that's gonna go out and fuel a small plane, or maybe this is just a cleanup crew truck and he's got his shovel and his broom back there. Okay, I kind of think this one's cute. This is obviously a dragster. I think they did a reasonable job simulating a dragster with the pieces here that we have from the street sweeper. I like how they used one of the double wheel well pieces sideways here to kind of do something different, create a different shape there. The thing I can't get on board with this is using the street sweeper yellow piece here for a spoiler, I guess. It's just not convincing to me. I think that I could fairly easily build either of these from these pictures. I think this one might be fun to build. This one, you know, I like dragsters. I just don't really buy this piece as the spoiler. But there's those instructions. All in all, I like this set. I remember seeing it as a kid and liking the look of it in the catalog. I enjoy having it right in front of me on my table here today. And I hope that it brings someone else more joy after it leaves Brick Replay. That's the end of my review.
Remember, a toy is just a toy until a story brings it to life. Share your story about this set in the comments section below, and I'll share the best stories in a future video. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to click subscribe. To see the sets I currently have up for auction, follow the link in the doobly-doo. Thank you for watching Brick Replay.